Now again, don't want to waste any missiles after the refueling. Save them all for that enemy base. Now, you saw those 2 missiles pop up there? Those were 2 of 3 missiles from a ground target. You see, you can just... I didn't even see the target. You just get close enough and it'll fire off at you sometimes. And even just 2 missiles can be dangerous. Luckily, those are both near the edge of the screen, so only one ended up being a threat. But if I was a little bit lower, I would have had all 3 missiles coming at me. And that's something you just do not want. So, we're going to the second target. This is another point where you want to rest your hands. Of course, it's not much time, but this is pretty much the same as fighting the aircraft carrier, except you'll get more missiles fired at you in the same pattern, but it's more frequent. Just as much machine gun fire, and there'll be a few more planes firing machine guns at you coming around the side. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same strategy. When he fires missiles, you fly up to dodge the lower one and shoot down the higher one. And whenever you get a chance, fire off missiles at him, fire machine guns at him. We're about at the altitude where it starts. There it is. There's his first fire of missiles. You can see the energy bar up there in the top right corner. You can see it's a little bigger. You can see that how much a missile takes away. A missile takes a ton of energy away. You definitely want those missiles. And see, I got him. I got him almost as quickly as the aircraft carrier, actually, because I got a few more missiles off on him than I did with the carrier. And here we go to the next landing sequence. Again, the landing sequence, just the same as the last time, no new strategies. Altitude 200, speed 288. If it tells you to go to the left or right, go to the left or the right just to keep lined up with the carrier. This is actually only the second time I've ever played a game and landed the plane in all 4 missions. Usually I crash at least once. The only other game was that other game I recorded for my crappier guide using my camera phone. Otherwise, I've always had a crash, at least once. Okay, the final mission. Destroy an enemy space shuttle. Now, again, choose the most powerful missile. You don't want any other missile for this mission. Now, you notice this mission is starting to get at night here. You're above the clouds again, kind of like the first mission, except there's going to be a lot more planes coming at you, and there's a lot more machine gun fire, and you really want to avoid that machine gun fire. You can see that big target right there. Those usually aren't worth getting, especially in the later parts of the mission. You'll be over the land and the sea again, and if you aim down to try to get them, you'll end up getting fired at from all the ground and sea targets. You see these planes coming at you are doing flips and stuff. It doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't make them any more threatening. You notice the missile patterns can be a little more erratic sometimes, so they'll be harder to hit. And you'll notice that the planes that come up on your back most of the time, usually you have to shoot in different directions, 4 or 5 times even, sometimes, to get it off you. Now you see, I just got hit by machine gun fire twice. You do not want to do that. And you'll see, once I do get to the space shuttle, I end up dying because of it. But that's something that's extremely important. Do not get hit at all in this mission, because you need to save everything you've got for that space shuttle at the end. Now you see we're over the ocean again, so you gotta continue to do the flying up into the sky strategy. Now see, I started aiming down there and I got some missiles coming at me. I got lucky there though. Usually that'll end in death. At this point, usually your hand will be getting awful tired, so it's really hard to try to keep it up just flying right up into the sky. As you see, I'm having trouble here. Now you can see we moved over land, and you also can see that the fuel is starting to get low. Usually when it asks you to press start to start the refueling sequence, you'll end up moving over into the final part where you're over a snowy landscape, and then you'll have to press start again. Every once in a while, it'll still do the refuel over this, but most of the time it'll transfer you over to the snowy part first. Like right here, it didn't give me a chance. And now it's going to transfer me over to the snowy area, and then it's going to ask me to press start again, and then I'll start the final refuel sequence, which is no different than all the other ones. It's the exact same strategy as before.